What up, folks? It's your man Terry Taylor coming to tell you hello, and I actually have to weigh in on something here. Today, okay, well, let me preface this before I get into it. As you probably read from the title, this is about video gaming, and it's about Billy Mitchell, who has been labeled the greatest gamer of the century or some bullshit like that. Basically, who he is he's a guy that in the early 80s racked up the highest score on Pac-Man. Then he proceeded to break all sorts of records in Donkey Kong. He's an arcade gaming legend, if you will. And it started as an arcade. Twin Galaxies, run by Walter Day at the time, started, this is in the early 80s, to keep track of the high scores and essentially make a leaderboard and be the official ranking of video gaming high scores. So they had this group of golden boys who were on the cover of magazines and stuff in the early 80s. This made the news. It later became, they talked about it in the documentary The King of Kong, A Fistful of Quarters, which leads me to Billy Mitchell. Billy Mitchell was their golden boy. Today, after quite some time of investigation, after an official dispute was lodged with Twin Galaxies, they have stripped Billy Mitchell of everything. They stripped him of all his high scores, all his records. They basically dethroned the king. And, I got to commend Jace Hall, who is now the owner of Twin Galaxies, for making a very bold move and stripping these people of, in some instances, decades-old high scores that were records that appeared in the Guinness Book of World Records and stuff. Like, this is like official stuff, for like video gaming and whatnot. Anyway, Billy Mitchell is known as like the most important gamer in the century, like he of the 20th century, and it's incredible to see how he has been completely removed of every accolade and banned from ever competing in gaming competition again, especially on Twin Galaxies. So now, in the documentary The King of Kong, this man Steve Wiebe goes after his high score, and it's a bit of a boys' club of these old school record holders that really sort of protect Billy Mitchell and his score, and they never actually sit down and play head to head, even though Steve Wiebe travels to do it multiple times. Instead, Billy Mitchell submitted a VHS tape, which was, they noted it was considered, and it was put into the record books. We're talking almost 10 years later now, and the redemption of Steve Wiebe is real. And Steve, I love you, man. I'm a fellow drummer. Steve Wiebe is now officially the first gamer to break the million score in Donkey Kong, which is what he went for so hard. So the redemption is sweet. Steve, take a deep drink off that glass, man, because you've earned it, my friend. It's been coming your way. So, the redemption of Steve Wiebe and the fall of Billy Mitchell. What does it mean? Well, it means it's fucking sad that Billy Mitchell cheated. I mean, the guy's supposed to be like the man retro arcade gamer, and he's been under suspicion for years and years and years. And Todd Rogers, who had high scores for Dragster and other things, were proven by great people like Ben Heckendorf, the Ben Heck Show on YouTube. Shout out to Ben Heck. They proved that it was impossible that these guys could have certain scores. Todd Rogers was stripped. Now Billy Mitchell, the man who sat at the top of the mountain, has been removed. And that's, look, is it something to celebrate? No. It doesn't make anybody look good. Billy Mitchell cheated. For many, many years, Twin Galaxies accepted his scores, among other scores that were proven to be fraudulent. So that doesn't make them look so legit, especially when they're considered by Guinness to be the official high score record keeper. When Guinness goes and verifies and gives a record to somebody, they go through Twin Galaxies. So this shows that Twin Galaxies was really not handling things the way they should. And now, keep in mind, it's very difficult to judge these things because you're dealing with emulation and computer software and things that are very hard to prove. So you have to, a lot of this goes on trust. And when you have somebody who's so influential in the gaming world like Billy Mitchell was, I mean, that's a problem. You're dethroning the king. So, anyway, I want to commend Jace Hall for taking the reins over at Twin Galaxies and really sort of putting them back into a reputable position. The fact that they would do this is a bold move, and, I got to commend them for that. For Steve Wiebe, man, if you're out there and you see this, congratulations, man. You earned it. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about that for a little while and tell you my thoughts on this whole thing. This has been an ongoing investigation for some months now, and really it's such an arbitrary thing to think about. It's like a high score on Donkey Kong and whatnot. But the thing is, the high score on this Donkey Kong, the one that they proved to be fraudulent, is the one that was used in the documentary itself. So, a movie that garnered much accolade has a very, very, very delayed prologue. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on this. I just wanted to talk about it. See you guys soon.